I'm dynamite, and I'll win the fight.
It's a great crowd out there. I'm actually going to go down and talk to these folks in a few minutes. But first, the interview you've been waiting for. It's your first look at Bill O'Reilly's presidential Super Bowl interview.
Do you respect Putin?
I do respect him.
Do you? Why?
Well, I respect a lot of people, but that doesn't mean I'm going to get along with him. He's a leader of his country. I say it's better to get along with Russia than not. And if Russia helps us in the fight against ISIS, which is a major fight, and Islamic terrorism all over the world,
right.
Major fight, that's a good thing. Will I get along with him? I have no idea. It's very
He's a
possible
killer,
I
though.
won't.
Putin's a killer.
A lot of killers. We got a lot of killers. Why, you think our country's so innocent?
Here to react is Fox News contributor Jamu Green and political commentator Katie Kieffer. So, Katie, I'll start with you. Is President Trump making a moral equivalent argument to Vladimir Putin's political assassination and some of the dirty things that America's military does, do you think? Or he's just saying, listen, Putin does dirty things, America sometimes does some nasty things in the dark shadows in order to further our national interest. Which one do you think it is?
Right. Well, as much as Trump seems to love controversy, I really do think that he's being pragmatic and actually smart in this situation, because we have to have strong foreign relations, and it's much better for him to come out and say that I respect Putin, not personally or as a friend,
right,
but I am willing to work with him, because in fact Trump, that's saying that Trump respects the American people,
right,
because he's going to work with Russia rather than brush them aside, and he's also not going to be a Russia whisperer like President Obama.
Right, he's not going to do the reset button. Jamu, let me ask you this. Did you see that? Okay, we don't have Jamil. Because what I'm thinking is, when this airs on Sunday, I could see the left saying, you know, this is a problem. He has just now equated Putin's targeted assassination alleged of the political opponents with some of the nasty things that America's military does. But on the other hand, I'm thinking, you know what? This guy, Donald Trump, is such a nationalist. Mm-hmm. You can't doubt this guy's patriotism.
No, absolutely not. And he is someone who loves America. You can tell that from the way he talks, from the way he carries himself. He wants to make this country a better place, and he's going to do that by building friendships with other countries, and you do that through diplomacy and by saying I respect you. He doesn't mean that he wants to go out and play golf with Putin, or that he wants to have a few
I don't
Russian
even think they play golf in Russia.
Well, he's not going to have Russian vodka.
Maybe they play hockey or something like that. You know, he doesn't drink, so he's not going to have any vodka. Could you imagine seeing Trump drunk? Jesus, I can't even think about that. We also have another soundbite. Bill challenged Trump on some of the embellishments, as people say, that the president likes to make. Roll the tape.
Is there any validity to the criticism of you that you say things you can't back up factually? And as the president, if you say, for example, that there are 3 million illegal aliens who voted, and then you don't have the data to back it up, some people are going to say that's irresponsible for a president to say that. Is there any validity to that?
Many people have come out and said I'm right. You know that.
I know, but you got to have data to back that up.
Let me just tell you, when you see illegals, people that are not citizens, and they're on the registration rolls, look, Bill, we can be babies, but you take a look at the registration. You have illegals, you have dead people, you have this. It's really a bad situation. It's really bad.
So all the media, I mean, they're very obsessed now with fact-checking the president. But, I mean, over the last 8 years, you had President Obama saying Benghazi was about a video, and the world has never been safer, and there's not a smidgen of corruption at the IRS, and, you know, there's nothing to see here. And all of a sudden now, everything Trump says is under really, really tough scrutiny. All politicians lie, though, right? And they make things up a little bit. I mean, you'd have to admit that.
Well, I think when we're talking about voter fraud, actually Trump has a good point here, and he's pointed out that there is voter fraud, and Americans are concerned about that. And all we have to do is look at Detroit, a heavily Democratic city, and Jill Stein, the Green Party candidate, found that there were actually more votes cast than actual voters. So we know that there's voter fraud taking place, and Trump wouldn't be harping on this comment after winning if he didn't believe that there was evidence to back him up, because it's a lose-lose situation for his credibility if he's wrong. And we also know that there's close to 2 million registered voters in this country who are deceased.
Right.
There's close to 3 million registered voters who are registered in multiple states.
Right.
So it's not...
Yeah, no, listen, if there is voter fraud, we want to get to the bottom of it, and I think an investigation is in order. And just so the audience understands, we did want to get a Democrat side to this, but we had Jammu booked. She decided to walk off the set. I don't know what happened. Maybe she had an appointment she had to get to quickly, but unfortunately we couldn't get that side. So, we just chatted. So that's fine, I think. Anyway, thank you very much, Katie.
Thank you for
Be
having
sure
me
to
on.
check out O'Reilly's full interview with President Trump Sunday at 4 p.m. Eastern on Fox Sports. And again on the O'Reilly Factor this Monday and Tuesday. And Waters World will be on Monday, too, so you're definitely going to be watching. I'm going to be going out to the audience pretty soon, right?